CEO of Les Mills India, Glenn Storey, if you come. We have the CEO of Fitness First. We have George Phillips, welcome. We have, towards the back, WellFit COO, Gareth Jones. At the front, RK Fitness Solutions founder is Rob Krzanovich. Thank you, Rob. Also on Fitness First Middle East is the Corporate Wellness Manager, my main man, Basim, but we just call him one name. He's like Prince, or like Shakira, or Beyonce. Grab a seat, my man. And the guy with the longest walk, Mr. Mark Alexander, who is our Customer Experience Director at Les Mills India.
Thank you, John.
Get a move on. You got
music, right?
Yeah, you want to walk on music. All right, welcome, guys, welcome.
So, well, Glenn mentioned in the report, right, one of the main barriers, that's motivation. Even when you join the gym, it's like, okay, so what do I do now? Where do I go? What kind of activity I'm going to take part of? That's the main factor. Then we have the busy lifestyle. That's another big one, and people are often struggling to find time to be healthy, which is the wrong thing to do, but hey, that's the reality. So we in the fitness industry have an obligation to help people to find time, and the digital component of fitness and how fitness has evolved in the last few years obviously gives this opportunity to us as providers of healthy lifestyle to give different solutions to different problems to people.
Right.
And it's just the physical exercise, it's also the mental part of the exercise as well, right? The mind and body programs, the meditations and all the other things that are coming up very, very fast, and they're becoming part of our lives. How do we manage stress? And it's not just the physical stress, it's also the mental stress and so on and so forth. So there is a lot of correlation between different things, and we're going to start looking at organizations, whether they're sports organization or corporate, doing some other industries, where an overall well-being of a person from a physical and mental standpoint is very, very, very important. And I said time. Well, now it doesn't become a barrier anymore, right? That barrier is not there anymore. If you have an online workout, you can just turn it on anytime you want. So that's not an excuse anymore, like George said, it's just an excuse, right? Not having enough time. Omni-channels, different solutions for different people and for their different situations in life is a massive opportunity for fitness industry. Like Glenn said, we were looking at, okay, brick and mortar was looking at online solutions like a competitor. It helped us to realize that it's actually not a competitor. There's a whole different market who long time, I wouldn't say that a long time ago, but a while ago started using online exercise, online solutions, wearable technology. It's been there for the past few years, but we just didn't pay enough attention to it. Now, when everything shut down, and all of a sudden that was the only solution for exercise, all of a sudden we started paying attention, and then we started thinking, how can brick and mortar actually benefit from including this into their offering and expand their offering? It's just being versatile in offering and capture different market and different likes of the markets.
Yeah, I think whether it was Jane Fonda in the 70s or 80s, or Mr. Motivator, I'm from the UK and I can remember Mr. Motivator, if anybody can remember, on Good Morning TV in the morning, getting people up, the Green Goddess, there's so many more. That was 20, 30 years ago.
We've always been fighting in the fitness industry to keep our members as long as possible and finding different ways. Before, when technology wasn't such an essential part of the operation and the business, we only had that 1.5 hour that we can influence a person while they were inside the club. Now we have 24 hours. Technology is helping us to keep engaging with members while they're outside of the club, where before it was different variables. Now these variables are integrated with our own operating systems. When before it was exercise only in the club, now you have exercise outdoors, now you have exercise at home, now you have different channels, different ways of engaging with your members through different platforms. And that's the beauty of the technology.
It doesn't have to be your heart rate at 100%, it doesn't have to be you're in the red zone, it doesn't have to be, you know, you're burning 10,000 calories. I think it's all about movement, and I think COVID has done that globally across the world. It's made people want to kind of be fit to fight this disease.
Time is just an excuse. It's an excuse for people who haven't prioritized exercise as a goal or an investment in their life. So the number one reason, why don't you do this? I don't have the time. Well, that's not true. So once exercise and your health and your well-being becomes a priority, you will find the time. It's as simple as that.
Our company is 4.5 years old, and we've been there before, during, and now after. I like to think positively that we are beyond that point. And so, where before we seen the market going in a certain direction, what we see today is that the market is putting its different segments in a place. And Gareth just mentioned how they created different concepts that provide an offering that it's not there yet or very minimal. So what we see today is that there is different concepts coming up, and everything is related around the exercise, which is the positive thing. So I think we're going to see more and more different concepts coming up in the future. And what we get to ask quite often is, how do we move forward from the operator point of view? How do we integrate the technology a bit? How do we get more engaged with our members? Not just how do we attract more people, that is a question as well, but it's more of a, how do we move from this point onwards? How do we develop as a brand? How do we become more competitive? How do we offer something different than the competitor down the road doesn't offer?